Good morning! It is now day 4 of my trip. I have just checked out of my hotel, although you don't actually have to check out, it's an automatic checkout. But I loved staying at Newport Bay. It's a really beautiful resort. The rooms were super comfortable and I just very much enjoyed it here. I love that it was so close to the park. It was very quiet, so yeah, everything was very nice. I'm now going to head to the parks. I've had a later start today. I thought I won't set an alarm, I'll just get up and go whenever I'm ready. Packed my bags. I've left my bags with the hotel and done the luggage service where you can have the bag taken from the hotel to the train station and just collect it when you're ready to go, so that saves you coming back and wasting time, which is great. I'm not feeling 100% today. And I did ask about there's like a vegetable crumble. They said that's vegan. I tried the vegetable crumble and that's definitely got cheese in it. And I went and spoke to my waitress to see the allergy menu. It turns out some of the other options I've been told were vegan, also were not vegan. I do have an intolerance to dairy, so I'm just very aware of consuming animal products and the fear that later on you may become ill because of it. Well, you can probably hear my nose sounds blocked. All of my sinuses have got blocked and I've got a bit of a headache, and that's a reaction to the dairy. The thing I'm most worried about is I can have like nausea, stuff like that. And obviously, I'm sure if you've seen any of my vlogs before, you know how much I have a big phobia of being sick. So we're just gonna see how the day goes. Got a bit of a headache still, but we'll push through. We've still got most of the day here, so I think I'm going to try and go to the Studios Park first. I just want to go on Web Slingers again and have a little look around Avengers Campus and then go back to Disneyland Park to spend the rest of the day. So let's go. So I am back in the Studios Park for the final time this trip. It's going to be just a quick stop just to Avengers Campus, but I'm very excited to see what's going on there today. It's one of those places you can just hang out and soak up the atmosphere and see who's wandering around, what are they doing. It's really nice with the Avengers Campus now open to see this park back at its original capacity. For a long time it has felt like half a park, so it's nice now that it's full again. It is still a small park. You need a day here, probably not even that. So it will be interesting when the expansion happens and we have frozen land and there's going to be a big lake and all of these things. That'll be interesting to see. I think that's coming next year. So it's nice to see this park will expand because it'll be nice to flesh it out a bit. So the single rider queue for Web Slingers is currently 30 minutes, so I'll see how long it actually takes.
We hope you all have a great time on your visit to the Worldwide Engineering Brigade Open House.
So first ride of the day was Web Slingers. I got 202,000, so not as good as the first day, but pretty good. My arms have done their proper workout now. So I'm going to have a final look around this shop, just to see if there's anything else I want to purchase, and then head out to see who's wandering around Avengers Campus. They have the shoulder plush group, so I'm definitely getting one of these. As soon as I came out the shop, Black Panther was here, which was amazing. I also got a mug and got the little group, but I also got a mug. I can't stop myself. But it was 30% off, so it's a pretty good deal. And it was specifically Avengers Campus for Disneyland Paris, which is very exciting. So yeah, I'm not feeling great, honestly, guys. So I'm just going to sit down for a little bit. I might try and see this Frozen show. I've never seen it. Every time I'm here, it's closed. So I'm going to see if I can get in. It does seem to fill up very quickly. So we'll see how it goes, and if not, I'll head over to Disneyland Park now. So for the single rider queue for Web Slingers, it did actually take longer than half an hour, and that is something you will find that's slightly different between Disneyland Paris and Disney World. Disney World tend to overestimate wait times, so you feel, oh, that was good, I didn't wait as long. Whereas here, you tend to wait longer than the posted wait time. There were a lot of groups in the single rider queue, so obviously that does back it up. And it's one of those difficult things, like people that don't mind being split up are happy to ride the single rider queue, but obviously if you're in big groups, it massively builds the queue up. And people that are genuine single riders, because maybe the people they're with don't want to go on the ride, or they're doing a solo trip, end up waiting significantly longer. So it's one of those difficult things that if you're happy to ride solo, then it's worth doing the single rider queue. But if people are waiting to get back to their friends or family because they're the only person that wants to go on a ride, they end up waiting a super long time because there are tons of groups. 5 minutes before the photo show and it is already completely full, so it's not going to happen this trip, unfortunately. I will try and see it at some point, but let's head over to Disneyland Park now and see what's going on over there. So I am saying au revoir to Walt Disney Studios Park for this trip. I don't know if it's come across in the vlog series, but I really liked Avengers Campus. I really enjoy it there. In fact, the majority of my time spent in this park was there. The other areas I just visited once, but that really was the highlight for me. I'm so glad that we have this now and it's brought life into this park. It was really fab today to see Black Panther. I hadn't seen him yet, so that was absolutely awesome. So yeah, it's been nice. I'm looking forward to having future visits to Avengers Campus where hopefully the shows will also be taking place, so you'll get to see them as well. That would be fantastic. But for now, it is see you real soon to Walt Disney Studios Park. To see that, and it kind of perks you up a bit, which is so nice. Like, it really energises you. It's such a fun and joyful parade, so I'm very glad I got to see that. So I'm gonna go ahead on some gentle rides now. I might do Phantom Manor, Pirates, things like that are super fun, super Disney, and ones that I love, but I'm going to fare well on them. I might have to skip over Big Thunder, I think, which is a shame because it's my favourite ride, but luckily I've been on it a few times this trip. Today and yesterday are definitely a lot quieter than Sunday and Monday, so it is nice that the queue times aren't too bad, and it just means when you're wandering around there's lots of space and it's very nice. So yeah, it's been very lucky. I love coming in the off season because of that, because you get the lower wait times. So yes, it can be cold or the weather may be unpredictable, but the savings you get for the hotels and the low wait times are definitely worth it for me.
Somewhere that you can get really amazing photos of Big Thunder Mountain is actually from the Molly Brown. It goes all the way around the attraction, and if you stand on the side closest to Big Thunder Mountain, you get amazing.
Warlocks and witches, answer this call. Your presence is wanted at this ghostly ball.
So when I was entering Phantom Manor, I was greeted by Cedric. Cedric is a legendary Disneyland Paris cast member. He used to work over at the Tower of Terror, and in fact, if you watch Behind the Attraction on Disney Plus, you'll actually see him in the episode about the Tower of Terror. But he now works over here at Phantom Manor, so it was so nice to see him. I tend to not do so much at Disneyland Paris is meet the characters, and that's purely because the queue times are always quite long. In the official places like the Princess Pavilion or Meet Mickey Mouse, they're normally very, very long. But even out and about, when you see the little spots, so next to Phantom Manor you get to meet Phantom Manor Mickey, which I would love to do, but the queue is always massive. And it's one of those things, at Disney World I find it a lot easier to meet characters than in Disneyland Paris, just because of the wait time.
We've heard of Disney ducks, but now we get to meet
So I've got quite a bad headache, so I don't know whether to try and have something to eat, because I didn't have any dinner last night or breakfast this morning because I wasn't feeling great. And it's that thing of eating might help the headache, but will it make you feel worse or better? Who knows? How do bodies work? Does anyone know? If you know, let me know. But I think I'm going to try and have something and see how it goes. It's kill or cure at this point, isn't it? So let's go and see. So I've come into Cowboy Barbecue Cookout, I think that's what it's called, Cowboy Barbecue Cookout, just to try and have a little something to eat, see if that helps. I did eat here before and I really, really enjoyed it. It's got loads of seating as well, and as I was in Frontierland it made sense to come here, so let's tuck in and see what happens. So I just had my meal. It was nice. They use Beyond Meat in this burger, and what I like about it is Beyond Meat is very specific tasting, so you can tell it's definitely Beyond Meat. It has that really nice, almost like grilled, charcoal grilled kind of taste, which is really, really good. And yeah, I've had a nice sort of sit down, and so I think I'm going to head out now and try and do something like Pirates. That never goes amiss. Also, I'm very cold in here, and Pirates is so warm inside, so that would be perfect. So yeah, let's hope that helps everything. The headache will go and we'll have an amazing rest of the day. So I have to apologise for this. I feel like it's a very, very low energy vlog. So I'm hoping now that I've had a sit down, I've had something to eat, I've had a drink, I've taken some more tablets, maybe I'll start to perk up a bit, feel a bit better. What is really good is if you're not feeling 100%, there's still loads of things you can do at Disney, because they have lots of rides that don't throw you around, are very gentle. You have the railroad, you could go for a trip on the Disneyland Railroad, there's shows to see, parades, so there is still loads and loads to do, which is great news, because you're not feeling like you're missing out if you don't want to do all the big thrill rides, or if you just want something gentle. But for now I'm going to head over to Pirates. I just love this ride. What I think is funny is there's so many things you can go on over and over again and not be bored of them, which I think is really special. had fun interactions with people, and it's right in front of pirates, so what better way to start going on pirates than saying Captain Jack Sparrow himself.
Tu penses que tu peux pas l'atteindre, espèce de radical.
Une fois, deux fois.
With this version of Pirates, you don't actually get wet, but for some reason the seat was really wet, so now my trousers are really wet. I don't know what's happened there. Something's happened. Probably best not to know. So the queue wait times have crept up a bit, but it's still saying that Snow White is just a 10-minute wait, which I'll be surprised about, but I'm going to go over there and see. And if so, definitely going on that again. I do love, see, here's the thing, I love the Disney villains, and the Evil Queen is one of my favourites, but I absolutely love her when she's the old hag, and you very rarely see that represented anywhere. But in this ride, you get to see her, which is awesome. Is a lot of the rides at Disneyland Paris are very plus size friendly, and I actually did a video about that, so I'll put that in the description down below or up here. But what is interesting is a lot of the rides have turnstiles, and there seems to be no real reason for it. You've already been in the queue, everyone's in the queue, they've filed in order. So I don't really know why they have the turnstiles. So if you do know why they have turnstiles, let me know, because interestingly, most of the rides are very accommodating for plus size people, but some of the turnstiles are very narrow and aren't that accommodating, and it's weird that you'd have no problem sitting on the ride, but going through a turnstile could be difficult, and I've never understood it. So if you do know why they do that, do let me know. As you can see, it's clouded over, it's got very cold all of a sudden, so I'm having a little break for my foot. And then I'm going to carry on going around Fantasyland. I think there's a few more rides that I can get on here. Probably got about 2 hours before I have to leave. And this is the thing I really like about doing a trip that's like 4 or 5 days, is the fact that you can fit everything in, and then the final couple of days you're just doing the things you like over again. And I think that's so nice, because you're not having to cram everything in or rush around and panic you're not going to get everything done. You can just take it at your own pace, and then you still have time to do everything you like again. So it's like the ideal trip length for me. So I've had a look at the wait times. The things in Fantasyland have creeped up. So what I'm going to do is go over to Discoveryland. I think I'm going to do Buzz again and get no points, because I'm terrible at I do not know how you get the good points. I don't know what I'm doing. It's very difficult. I find web slingers much easier to get points, which is probably why I love it so much. But I'm going to head there next, and then I might go and see PhilharMagic. I haven't seen that this trip yet, and I always love going to see it and hearing all the songs, and it's so cute, and it's indoors because it's got very, very cold. I think it's weird that just cloud appearing can make the temperature drop so much. I'm like, oh my gosh, it's freezing. So going indoors will be lovely. Having some food and some tablets seems to have helped my headache, which is very good, because that was really, really bothering me. So I'm glad that worked. So our first instalment of Bodies, How Do They Work? Apparently if you've got a headache, eat something. So that's one thing we've learned. So I'm glad for that, which is good, but I feel very, very tired, and I don't particularly know why. And it's one of those things that because today you've already checked out your hotel, you can't go back and have a little rest, and when you're travelling home, the journey is quite long, really, because I probably will leave the parks about 4, go to the train station, get on a flight, drive back home. Probably won't get home till about midnight, most likely. So I'm just very conscious of being tired, but having a very, very long day still ahead. But maybe you'll work through the tiredness and you'll have like a second wave of energy. So that's another instalment of Bodies, How Do They Work? We'll find out if that's true. If I'll suddenly get a second wind and feel super chipper and lively. So over at the Starport you can go and meet Star Wars characters. It's currently a 15-minute wait. Mickey Mouse is currently 70 minutes and the Princess Pavilion is currently 80 minutes. So it can be quite long to meet characters in Disneyland Paris. Something I did like in Disney World is that you could get reservations through Genie Plus to meet them, and that helped me so much because the queues were minimal with that. So I wish they would have some sort of way you could meet characters here. Maybe they would introduce Premier Access like they do with the rides, because I never really do that when I come to this park, and that's one thing I miss out on. So interestingly, Philhar Magic at the moment is just in 2D. You don't have the 3D glasses. They said there was a technical issue, but it was still really fantastic. It's nice to see and hear all of those songs. The graphics are really, really good. So I very much enjoy that always, because it's just so cute to listen to some Disney songs and see some of those classics on the screen again. Now I have to say I am a massive Captain EO fan. That's what used to be in here. It was the Michael Jackson film. It was so good. If you've seen my Disney World vlog series, you'll see how I wore a Captain EO t-shirt because it used to be shown in Epcot. And interestingly, on the screens when you're watching the pre-show kind of gambit before you go in, you can still see the outline of Captain EO, the logo, on those little screens. So I was like, please bring it back. But I don't think they will. I feel like, do young people know who Michael Jackson is? Which I can't believe we're living in a world where people maybe don't know who Michael Jackson is, but I feel like maybe we are. Something I haven't done so far this trip is go in Star Traders, probably for a good reason, because I'm trying to not spend so much money. But let's go in and have a little look, because you can't come here and not go and look at all the Star Wars merchandise. They have some very cool mugs in here. Very much enjoying all these mugs, and look at the size of this one. Also really love these ears, they are really cute. These Grogu glow wands are incredible. I absolutely love these. I absolutely love this t-shirt, but sadly because it is a women's fit, even the extra large looks quite small. But otherwise I would have got this. You've got the Mandalorian Grogu and a Ahsoka Tano in one t-shirt. Could it be any better? Clearly this cup is literally for children. But look at the little Grogu one. It's so cute. So a purchase may have been made. It's one of those things that I always find something in there, and that's probably why I didn't go in there. But I couldn't resist temptation. So I got a little Spirit jersey, but what was cool is it was the Mandalorian. They had loads of Mandalorian merch, which I love, because the Mandalorian is such an outstanding series, and it's one of my favourite Star Wars things. So I'm so glad we're seeing a lot of merch for it, but probably my bank isn't. My bank balance is just like, stop liking this. And that's the thing that I'm worried about. Now that I'm getting into Marvel, it's going to be a money pit, isn't it? It's not good news, it's not good news, but I am very much enjoying it. It's interesting because this morning the queue wait times were very low, and in the afternoon they've crept up. Now I don't know if that's because a lot of people like me are leaving today. I did speak to quite a few people and it seems that everyone's going today. So maybe everyone did the same and they had like a more easy morning, slept in a bit, so because they knew they were going to have a longer day. So it's interesting to see how, even though it's low season, it doesn't feel particularly low season with some of the wait times. Disney Ducks! Let's go on Buzz Lightyear again and see if I can get more than 30,000 or whatever it was that I got last time. A paltry number, but let's go and see if I can beat that score, which is highly unlikely, but we'll try. And I'm still not doing any good. though I'm no good at it, I do very much enjoy it, and I definitely think that one is a lot better than the one in Disney World. The Disney World one looked a bit, the colours weren't as vibrant and a bit run down, whereas this, it's still super, super bold and bright and fun, and very much enjoyed this one. Even though I'm terrible, there must be secret ones that if you hit them, you get loads of points. So if you know where they are, let me know, because I'm bored of being terrible at this game. So it is now getting to that time where I have to say goodbye to the castle. This is always the last thing I do. I come and get some final photos and say bye-bye. It's become a tradition, but I also kind of like, oh no, because it means we're leaving, which is no fun. But you can't stay here forever, although that would be amazing. So let's get the sad farewell done and take some shots of the castle. She is so magnificent. This is definitely one of my favourite Disney castles in the world. It's just so beautiful. So let's get some amazing photos before we leave. Although I feel like I haven't actually done much today, the time has gone so quickly, but maybe that's always what happens on your last day. You'd like it to last longer, but the time seems to run away from you. Whenever I come down Main Street, I always check out the buildings because they have the names of the Imagineers that helped build these parks. Behind me, in Delicious Sweets, you have Roy O. Disney and Walter E. Disney, and then in the Emporium, so this building here, you have Michael Eisner and Frank Wells. Michael Eisner was the CEO of Disney when Disneyland Paris was built, and Frank Wells was his kind of partner. He was the money man, whereas Michael Eisner was the ideas man, much like Walt and Roy. So I've been having one last walk around Main Street and just soaking up the atmosphere before having to leave. It's always the worst part when you have to actually step out of the park and you're like, nope, I'm not doing it, I'm not doing it. But alas, we do have to do it. So now let's head over to the exit and leave Disneyland Paris. So this is now it for this series. I did have a really great time. I got to go on all of my favourite rides again. I got to go to Avengers Campus for the very first time, and I absolutely was blown away by it. I loved how alive and interactive it was. I had so much fun interacting with the characters there. I got to see the brand new Avengers Power the Night show. I was so lucky to be here the weekend that it started. I really enjoyed yesterday seeing both that show and then coming over and seeing Illuminations, and because the park shut at different times, it's fantastic that you can see both shows in one day, so I'm very much loving that. I stayed at Newport Bay for the first time, and it was such a beautiful resort. It was really comfortable. I would absolutely stay there again. It was absolutely awesome, and yeah, it's just been a fantastic trip. It was sad to have kind of been ill yesterday and today, so the Pym Kitchen experience did put a damper on this trip, I can't lie, because it did have an impact on what I could do and just how I was feeling. But aside from that, it has been a super fun trip. It's always great to be in Disney. There's no better place in the world. It's such a great tonic and it brings you so much joy and optimism, and I think as adults that's so needed, because you can get so bogged down with the news and life and bills and all of this stuff, so to come here you get that enthusiasm and excitement, and it's just the best place to come to recharge and just feel amazing again. So it has been absolutely awesome. Thank you so much for watching this series. There will be more Disney trips happening this year, so do be sure to subscribe if you'd like to see them, and I am doing planning videos about Disneyland Paris and Disney World, so if you're planning your own trip, be sure to check them out as well to get lots of helpful tips. But yeah, thank you once again for watching, and until next time, I hope you have a most magical day. Bye bye.